Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I feel like it's a deja vu all over again. 4 years ago, I stood in that seat and I debated the Sakonnet River Bridge tolls unsuccessfully. And in my 2 years of vacation, that toll plan was revisited. And that toll plan was taken away because this House collectively decided that tolls in the East Bay were a bad idea and we're going to find the money elsewhere, and we did. And that money to this day goes into the Transportation Trust Fund. Needless to say, my constituents are energized over the toll issue. And they're energized over the toll issue because of a lack of trust they have. A lack of trust with the General Assembly and a lack of trust with the DOT. A bridge was built there using federal funds, and they were told it was going to never be tolled. And then we came back and told it. We are back. After we said we had fixed transportation funding, after we gave them tens of millions of dollars a year more, we got them on a path to sustainable debt management, and now yet again it becomes a crisis. Not a problem on the horizon, but a crisis. No one in this room, no one I have encountered in this debate so far denies that we have an infrastructure funding problem in this state, denies that we don't have quality infrastructure in the state, denies that we don't have good enough infrastructure for what we pay for it. But if our goal is to fix how we fund infrastructure, this bill does not do it. Take away for a minute the Garvey, the new Garvey debt, the refinancing of existing debt. We could do that tomorrow. I don't think there would be great debate. And we'd be able to front load a lot of projects. The real debate is about the tolls going forward after that. And when you look at the operating costs, and when you look at how many times this proposal has been cut in half by the governor and by DOT in its many iterations on its way to the floor today, we're going to get so little money after all of the expenses and the interest are paid. Why is it worth it? In the governor's budget that she just proposed to us last week, general government spending is going up by over $50 million. This week to the media, the governor and her budget staff explained many of their assumptions in the budget as to how they found close to $100 million in new revenue. And having looked at the budget, I think they're absolutely right. There were growth in programs, we got more money. We were able to find $100 million, fund general government by an extra $50 million. But we can't find an extra $16 million to put into the Transportation Trust Fund, which would be the extra cash we would be getting from all of these gantries. From a policy perspective, this is not the right way to go. Don't think for 1 minute that this is some transformational fix as to how we fund infrastructure, and we're going to leapfrog all of the other states and have the best roads and bridges in the country. It was far from that transformational. As a bill, it has its serious flaws. I know many of you think that the Republican caucus tonight was attempting something close to a filibuster, and that we want to be here as long as you are by putting in amendment after amendment. But each of those amendments addressed flaws as we see them in the bill. And so tonight, by passing this bill not amended, we are saying DOT should have unlimited authority to make very important decisions. There should not be a limit on the number of gantries that could be on roads and bridges in our communities. There should not be a limitation on the government to collect data on vehicles that they have never collected before. And most strikingly, that we think we can pass off on our constituents this idea that if we want to toll passenger cars, it would have to be approved in the Constitution. Let me make it very clear, because I know many people are watching tonight, not in this chamber. This bill does not call for a question on the ballot in November asking the voters to keep there from being a toll on passenger cars. It's simply a statutory requirement that if we wanted to toll passenger cars, we would have to go to the voters first. Take it from me. Legislators come and legislators go. If anyone thinks that a future legislature is bound by that, you're joking yourself. If they want to put tolls on passenger cars, they simply remove that provision. And so this bill contains no true protections for passenger cars, even though I think a majority of this room, if not everyone, thinks that passenger cars should not be tolled and that it would be appropriate to put in the Constitution since that language made it into the final bill.
30 seconds.
We have not put in the protections we have promised to our constituents. This is a poorly worded bill, and this does not transform how we spend money on our roads. Look at our recent legislative history. We will be back at this. We have not fixed DOT. They will continue to waste money. And we have lost the trust of our constituents who expect us to fix this problem. Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem.
Clerk, unlock the machine. All in favor, please vote green. Those opposed, red. Clerk, lock the machine. 52 in favor, 21 opposed. The act prevails.